Massa is making his debut in the series, and Guilherme Heichel is making his comeback as well. TCR Brasil also wrapping up the season with the appearance of Guilherme Heichel in PMO Racing, driving a Peugeot. Bruno Massa with a handful of races in the Brazilian Turismo Nacional Championship. Only a handful of races for him, and now joining TCR South America, making his debut in the season. With several confirmations for 2026, expansion of the grid, the arrival of Hyundai with the new Elantra, pole position yesterday went in favor of the champion Leonel Pernilla, who was given a great penalty after changing the engine, and certainly that means he will start from the back of the grid, handing the first place on the grid to his son, to Thiago Pernilla. We've experienced a little delay following the action of the Brazilian Stock Car Championship. Yesterday qualifying went in favor of Leonel Pernilla, followed by Nelson Piquet Jr., Thiago Pernilla also. Piquet Jr. actually inheriting the pole position I'm in. Thiago Pernilla moves up to second to front row. Leonardo Reis and Enzo Gianfrati, who's going for the TCR Trophy title. Here is our main straight, and we'll hear now from the pits with our pit reporter Letícia Datena.
A final da TCR Brasil e TCR South America Banco BRB, diretamente do maior templo do automobilismo brasileiro, o Autódromo de Interlagos. Esse é o penúltimo grid walk do ano pela TCR Brasil e TCR South America, lembrando que a última etapa aconteceu em uma pista inédita, uma corrida noturna lá em Cuiabá, que consagrou já o Leonel Pernilla como campeão da TCR South America. Foi a primeira vez na história que isso aconteceu na categoria, né?
Pernilla as a champion.
Conquistar o título com uma etapa de antecedência. Enquanto a gente espera o grid se formar, Nelsinho Piquet é o pole position pela TCR Brasil e o Leonel Pernilla pela TCR South America. Eu vou aproveitar que eu estou aqui com a presença ilustre de Felipe Magot, ele que é promotor da TCR aqui no Brasil, não só no Brasil, mas o promotor da TCR. Felipe, una final más aquí en Interlagos.
Felipe, last race, another season finale. You've been for decades in the race environment. How is the series finishing the events? First of all, good morning. It's a very important event for us. Wrapping up the season in Interlagos, such an iconic venue, is really important. Also, the stock car in the Brazilian Formula 4 and Turismo Nacional, a big festival. Also, TCR deciding their season.
Si mantiene esa posición será campeón brasileño,
así que muchas expectativas en esta penúltima carrera del año.
Muchas gracias. Eu volto com vocês e depois com mais entrevistas.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Leti, our pit reporter Letícia Datena in Brazil. Our very talented reporter. As you can see, the people went, and there you have on the right side of the Stock Car Brazil cars, part of the big festival we're having in Interlagos this weekend, alongside, as Mr. Felipe Magot mentioned, the Brazilian Formula 4. that is slowly sending out some Latin American talents and South American talents to Europe. One of the Rookie of the Years in 2024, Gino Trappa from Argentina, made it to the Central Europe Formula 4 this year, clinching the title, hoping for an upgrade, possibly into Formula Regional next year in 2026. Yet to be announced. Likely but not certain. And this is the TCR Trophy Tournament. 24 points of advantage from Adrian Ciriano to Enzo Gianfratti. But everything is yet to be decided. Gianfratti has a chance still to have a shot at the title. Ciriano has a good gap, but Gianfratti's improvements in the last part of the season has put the title decider in jeopardy. You see Leonel Pernia and Rafael Reis in the front of the picture, but in the back of the grid, of course. He could not take part in the qualifying session yesterday.
Bom dia, todo mundo ligado nessa transmissão da final da TCR Brasil, TCR South America, Banco BRB. E eu estou aqui com o Nelsinho Piquet, que pode ser o campeão da TCR Brasil agora, nessa corrida. Nelsinho, mais uma jornada dupla, assim como você fez em Cuiabá. Falta muito pouco para você conquistar esse título, mas no automobilismo qualquer coisa pode acontecer. Como é que está tudo? E a gente vai falando com ele enquanto o carro é preparado. Como é que está a expectativa, como é que está o carro?
Vamos tentar manter a calma, como você disse, a gente está com uma certa vantagem, mas temos que cruzar a bandeirada na frente para conquistar isso ainda, então tentar fazer uma corrida segura, sólida, sem arriscar muito. E lógico, quero a vitória, mas a gente quer o campeonato mais do que
I want the win, of course.
Então, vamos lá. Mal tive tempo de sair fora do carro da stock e quando eu saí correndo já tinha começado.
Barely had time to jump out of the stock car.
Então tô entrando no ritmo aqui do TCR, do tração dianteira e tentando lembrar de todos os procedimentos aqui para uma largada e uma corrida boa.
Certo, boa sorte, vamos deixar eles trabalharem aí, lembrando que o Nelsinho Piquet só precisa de 30 pontos ou de um terceiro lugar aqui nesta corrida para se coroar o campeão da TCR Brasil, no seu ano de estreia na categoria. E lembrando que ele está correndo na Stock e está disputando o terceiro lugar do campeonato também. Eu volto com vocês.
Thank you, Letty. As Leticia is mentioning, Nelson Piquet Jr. is also taking part in the Stock Car Brazil weekend, so he literally had to rush from a car to another. And he was explaining, it's not just running across the paddock from a car to another, getting your seatbelts fastened and that's, it's also remembering different car starting procedures, switching from a rear drive to a front drive. Might sound easy, but of course, these guys are professional racing drivers. Leonardo Reis, welcoming some friends, explaining some procedures on the steering wheel apparently. He's starting in second row. And a few minutes before the race, he's still there. We still have a few minutes. We finished with some kind of delay, as we said, in our schedule in the day. It has been raining earlier. It has rained in qualifying yesterday. Last minute adjustments. Some last minute rear wing adjustments. Here is Enzo Gianfratti, the challenger for TCR Brasil title for G Racing Motorsport. He's joined by Bruno Massa this weekend. as we said, one of the leading stars of the Hyundai Cup in this year, Bruno Massa. Juan Angel Rosso here getting into his car as well. Here's Gennaro Rasetto in his Peugeot, closing a very successful first season. Managed to rescue a P4 in the last race in the rain and in the night. He's starting from third row alongside Rosso. Here is our returning driver Guillermo Reichel, who is taking part in the Trophy Cup. Maria Nienkotter switching from a Cobra to an Audi, from the Toyota to the Audi for this last event. Born in a racing family with Leonardo Nienkotter, former Formula 3, South American Formula 3 protagonist in the 90s. He's her uncle. Here is Pedro Cardoso, the exiting champion, handing the trophy to Leonel Pernia. And here is the debutant, Bruno Massa. Entering the series in this Cupra from G Racing Motorsport, Fabian Gianantuoni is here in starting in 11th. Behind him was the one who wants to win the title in a TCR Trophy. We'll have him on screen shortly. Here he is, Adrian Chiriano from Argentina. He is looking for some results that can help him seal the TCR Trophy title. He's having a good advantage, but still the title is in range for Gianfrati, so this is yet to be decided. Rasetto had his career highest, as we were explaining in the last event. This is Rafael Reis, who managed to take a win in El Pinar in Uruguay. 4 more podiums, 2 second places in Vilecum, Albardón, and in Mercedes in Uruguay. 3rd places in Curitiba and Velocità. This is Nelson Piquet Jr. This is Nelson Piquet Jr. starting, watching in his rear view mirror the youngster Leonardo Reis, who got a podium in his debut. He's entered the 4 events held in Brazil, the last 4 races of the season: Curitiba, Velocità, Cuiabá, and now Interlagos. Managed to get 2 second places in round 2 in Curitiba and in Velocità, where our drivers raced masterfully in the rain, showing the extraordinary skill in South American touring car racing. A title won by an Argentinian ahead of 3 Brazilians. Leonel Pernia in front of Nelson Piquet Jr., Rafael Reis, and Pedro Cardoso, the exiting champion. Leonel Pernia in a really great shape throughout all the season, missing the podium. Only in Curitiba, he left the track with no podiums. In every other event, he took a podium in at least one of the races. That's certainly something really, really impressive from him. 30 seconds and the formation lap will start. And here are the cars now into the formation lap. And we'll jump into the starting grid. We have Nelson Piquet Jr. leading the way in the Civic from Honda YPF Racing. Ahead of him, ahead of his teammates, Thiago Pernia. In another car in the same team, Leonardo Reis, starting in second row, leading second row in the Cupra of W2 Pro GP. Enzo Gianfratti, the title contender for TCR Trophy, is in fourth, ahead of Juan Angel Rosso from Palladini Racing, who's looking for his fourth win of the season. Gennaro Rasetto in sixth, starting for PMO Racing in the Peugeot. Guilherme Reichel returning to the series, starting in seventh, ahead of Maria Nienkotter in her career highest on the grid, in eighth place, ahead of Pedro Cardoso. Bruno Massa starting in his series debut, ahead of 11th on the grid for Fabian Gianantuoni. Adrian Ciriano trying to seal the trophy in TCR Trophy. Leonel Pernia, the series champion, in 13th after changing his engine. Mariano Pernia in 14th, also with some penalties that are being applied. Rafael Reis in 15th. And wrapping up the grid is Fernando Croce for Port Hag Racing. And here are the cars arriving into the grid. Cars are arriving into the grid. And we'll start the second last race of the season. Everything is getting ready for the start of the race. Wave of the green flag in the background. The lights will get on and we'll start the second last race of the season right now. We get going in Interlagos. It's a good start for Thiago Pernia. I think somebody stopped on track at the end of the grid. Thiago Pernia will take the lead. It's a slow start from Nelson Piquet Jr. as a race clash with Gianfratti for second. It's a clash and both survive on the run to second position. Gianfratti takes it on the outside behind Thiago Pernia, who's grabbed the lead of the race in the early meters. Reis is in second, Rosso in third. And there is Nelson Piquet Jr. trying to recover after a really poor start. Gianfratti in second. Reis is in third, surviving ahead of Piquet. Also Juan Angel Rosso and Rasetto battling for a spot. That's a really lucky escape for both. For Leonardo Reis And for Enzo Gianfratti, who survived in second and third respectively, as Thiago Pernilla takes a comfortable lead in the first curves of this race. In Interlagos, they are going through Ferradura and Laranjinho. Heading into the SE, in the inside is Nelson Piquet Jr. trying to overtake Leonardo Reis. Reis survives and takes the inside for Pinheirinho, which is this turn they are taking right now. Behind is Juan Angel Rosso. Every car survived as Thiago Pernilla is heading into Pico de Pato. One of the last turns in this track. Reis still surviving in third as Nelson Piquet Jr. is attacking on the downhill to Junzao as they head into Mergulho, which is the last turn in this circuit ahead of the very, very long Arquibancada straights. The straight with the main stance. Here is Piquet resisting in third, and now he has Juan Angel Rosso in his back as they are heading into the main straight to complete the first lap of the race, with Nelson Piquet Jr. collapsing from the lead as Cardoso is at the tail of Juan Angel Rosso, trying to attack in the first turn into the S. Docena in the braking zone. There is Cardoso heading into fifth place, diving in the inside as Piquet is once again battling. Oh, big crash by Gennaro Rassetto in the braking zone of S. Docena. This will bring a safety car. It's a very hard hit for car number 66. I guess the driver might be okay, but still it's a big shunt for Gennaro Rassetto in the braking zone of the first turn. We'll catch a replay, which is more than welcome, to see what happened exactly with the young driver from Argentina. But it's still a big battle, three-way battle between Reis, Piquet Jr. and now Pedro Cardoso. Third, fourth, and fifth respectively, as Rosso has lost a position with Cardoso. Here they are in a Ferradura heading to Laranjinho. There are the medical staff checking on Gennaro Rassetto. Let's see what happened. Rassetto was there braking. I think there is a slight contact. And yeah, contact in braking zone. I think there was a contact. I'm not sure, but I think it was Fabian Gianantuoni who had this slight contact. And there is Rassetto. It's a big shunt for the Argentinian. The car, this will be a best angle. I think this will be the best angle. Let's see if there is any contact, or the car simply, no, escaped. Something might have gone wrong in the braking for Gennaro Rassetto. I thought there was a contact, or it was expected that could be a contact, but it was not the case, as that last angle made us confirm. The medical staff is already checking on Gennaro Rassetto. He's got into the medical pickup. And the safety car has came out. I'm not surprised, of course. This is the replay of Cardoso going through to the inside, to the outside, and then trying to catch the inside line for the downhill of Junzao. The race is now under safety car, with Thiago Pernilla leading from the very first meter of the race. Look at that. That's the outcome of the crash suffered by Gennaro Rassetto. Gianfratti is in second in that white and green Cupra you see behind the leader. In third, the blue and gold Cupra of Leonardo Reis. Just like the Argentinian Giants Boca Juniors. Looks like the shirts of the famous football club from Argentina. Here's Piquet Jr. He seems to be speaking on radio. For his body language, we can guess. He's falling down to fifth place, if I don't see wrong. Yes, exactly. Fifth place behind Pedro Cardoso, who has jumped into fourth. Lionel Pernilla is the one who comes on car number 44 in sixth. Juan Angel Rosso in seventh. Mariano Pernilla has moved up to eighth. Fabian Gianantuoni down to ninth. Rafael Reis, Mariano Encoter, Adrian Chiriano, Bruno Massa, Rassetto, and who's out of the race, of course, and Guilherme Heichel. And, of course, the safety car time goes in favor of Enzo Gianfratti, who is still heading for the TCR Trophy title. He has many cars between him and Chiriano, but as many cars can be... Oh, this is bad news for him. As many cars can be between him and Adrian Chiriano in the TCR Trophy ranks, that will certainly help the title quest of Enzo Gianfratti. Here is the car of Guilherme Reichel. We couldn't see what happened to him, who was part of the TCR Trophy as well. We had 5 TCR Trophy entrants in this race. We already have one out, which is Rachel, but we have Gianfratti, Nin Cotter, Ciriano, and Bruno Massa. The 4 of the 13 survivors we have now on the race. This is the TCR Trophy classification. Here's the start again. Look at Piquet on the left side of the screen. Thiago Pernilla beats him on the run to the front, to the first turn. He loses many positions. The starts have been a struggle for Nelson Piquet Jr., truth to be said. This is one more angle. You see Gianfratti diving into the inside as well. It's a big battle between Nelson Piquet Jr. and Leonardo Reis at the TCR Brasil title. I think we'll get going once again. Now the safety car has turned off the lights, and that means we'll have the 13 survivors of the race back in action. Thiago Pernilla making it very slow on the run to the main straight and the finish line, which is something very frequent here with the safety car period. And here we are back at full speed in Interlagos. 16 minutes and a half entering. Now on the run to turn 1 as Thiago Pernilla goes. Behind him, there is Pedro Cardoso heading into Nelson Piquet Jr. Here is Fabian Gianantuoni into the attack, and there is Cardoso heading into the inside against Leonardo Reis. There is the three-wide battle. Oh, Reis is taken off the ground of the racing line, and it's Cardoso breaking in the inside against Leonel Pernilla. Rough battle between the two. There is the action once again, and there's Leonardo Reis trying to survive in his position, but Pernilla takes the inside line for the following turn. This is all behind Enzo Gianfratti, who remains in second, but Leonardo Reis has lost some places, and it's a big battle on the way to Pico de Pato. Thiago Pernilla leads ahead of Gianfratti, and I think it's already Leonel Pernilla in third. We'll confirm now. It's Piquet. Cardoso in fourth, Leonel Pernilla in fifth, and Leonardo Reis down to fifth position ahead of Juan Angel Rosso. Big amount of changes in this first lap at full speed after the race resumed. Juan Angel Rosso is in there. Leonardo Reis is losing speed. Oh, I'm afraid this will mean something. Here's the braking zone. Yeah, Reis lost all terrain It's a big gap for Thiago Pernilla. Oh, engine blows in car 55. It's Mariano Pernilla. The engine revved up and said, I am done. In the car number 55, Mariano Pernilla will retire from the race as well. We've lost 2 more cars. We hope there is no fire, as Mariano Pernilla is quickly jumping out of the car, struggling for some good breath. He's perfectly out of the car, but I guess some fire could be going on because he didn't just leave the car. Here is Enzo Gianfratti in second place. Behind him is Nelson Piquet Jr., Cardoso in 4th, and Lionel Pernilla is in 5th. Gianfratti holding up the pack a bit. I think that gives the chance to Thiago Pernilla to attack and to run away from those who are chasing him. As they're completing one more lap, it will be the lap number 6, and the safety car is out again. Yeah, we have 2 cars out of the race, 2 more cars out of the race, and we are back, neutralized. Mariano Pernilla is out of the race with that engine failure. We think Leonardo Reis is out as well. Here is the replay of how Mariano Pernilla ended his race, and Leonardo Reis is back on track. Here is Mariano Pernilla out of the race. The Argentinian. And we'll have a brief interruption, and we'll be back racing. Thiago Pernilla, Enzo Gianfratti, Nelson Piquet Jr., Cardoso, Pernilla, Lionel Pernilla, and Rosso. Once again, Thiago Pernilla leading the way. Gianfratti, will see if now we can have some more pure racing without so many neutralizations. Leonardo Reis, I guess he will be one lap down because he lost a load of terrain. And here is the braking zone. Cardoso trying to dive into the inside of Gianfratti, but he is now battling with Nelson Piquet Jr. attacking for 3rd place, and Cardoso is up into 3rd behind Enzo Gianfratti, who remains in 2nd despite having all the battles going on at his back. Thiago Pernilla once again leading comfortably on the way to the 2nd sector. Piquet loses some terrain, and there is Lionel Pernilla battling with Cardoso as they did throughout most part of the season. In and out, Cardoso in the inside for 3rd place. Lionel Pernilla attacking in the outside with the trophy champion in his hands already. And there is now into the inside Lionel Pernilla, great driving, but it's a big battle between the two. and Cardoso is forced off track. He's back, and it's Juan Angel Rosso now joining the battle. It's a four-way battle in Interlagos on the way to the Pico de Pato. It's an exciting race we are having now, as in the inside is Leonel Pernilla trying to take fourth again. Cardoso remains in third. Rosso and Piquet join the conversation. Also from behind, Fabian Gianantuoni wants also to sign into the battle and enter the chats. And here is Piquet going to one side to another. Rosso remains once again ahead of Piquet. Gianantuoni goes trying to take the spot off Nelson Piquet's hands as well. Piquet really collapsing in his run for the TCR Brasil title, but Leonardo Reis is still behind, and he might be still protected in the points calculation. Leonel Pernilla going into the outside to break against Cardoso. Cardoso remains in third, and Enzo Gianfratti has managed to pick some air at his back, of course, between the loads of battles we are having in Interlagos. Thiago Pernilla leading, and it's once again Cardoso in the inside. Slight contact in the rear bumper of Gianfratti, I think, from Leonel Pernilla. Cardoso at the Descida del Lago behind after the Senas S's. Piquet Jr. is there, trying to go into the inside of Gianfratti. It's a great racing in South America. Once again, top touring car racing in South America between Gianfratti, Piquet Jr., Leonel Pernilla, Pedro Cardoso. As you saw, Leonel Pernilla wanted to go into the inside. 50 years old, loads of experience. Very well used in touring cars from Leonel Pernilla. Cardoso takes him to the outside once again, and through goes the Link & Co of Juan Angel Rosso. Once again, now in Junzao and Mergulio. Rafael Reis here chasing Nelson Piquet Jr. for 7th place. Pernilla and Gianfratti remain in first and second throughout, as they did throughout all the race. And Mariani Cotter is second in TCR Trophy ahead of Adrian Chiriano. There's Gianantuoni trying to resist the attack of Nelson Piquet Jr., who goes on the outside, tries to take the inside for the following turn, but Gianantuoni defends properly and stays ahead. 1.5 seconds from advantage from Pernilla to Gianfratti, as we have 6 minutes and a half in this round, final round of the year in TCR South America in Interlagos. Francisco Aure with you in the commentaries. We're really grateful to have your company today, as we had throughout all the season, racing in Argentina and Uruguay and now in Brazil. Gianantuoni surviving in 6th place, as Nelson Piquet Jr. wants to take him back to 7th. Piquet trying to break in the inside, entering Ferradura, and then it will be Laranjinha, and Piquet takes 6th place off the hands of Gianantuoni. Now he has the other Link & Co ahead of him, Juan Angel Rosso in 5th position. They're heading into Pico de Pato. Less than 6 minutes already remaining on the clock. There is Thiago Pernilla leading. You see some traces of the battle on the bodywork of Pedro Cardoso. Thiago Pernilla here, Gianfratti in second, and Cardoso will try to attack Gianfratti. You see the right fender of Cardoso is really broken. Oh, trouble for Thiago Pernilla. Something is wrong in his engine, I think it is, or a tire blown. I think it's a tire blown, as Cardoso jumps from third into the lead, breaking long, and Gianfratti is now leading the race. It's a big trouble for both cars. Both are off track. Gianfratti is now leading the race in Interlagos. It's an amazing turn of change of things in this race. Gianfratti is now leading. Extraordinary plot twist in the story of this race. Gianfratti now leading ahead of Cardoso, who had some trouble, and something is wrong with Thiago Pernilla, I'm sure, as Mariano Pernilla, the uncle of Thiago, is watching the action. Let's see the replay. Let's see if we can see what happened. I think it looks like a puncture on Thiago Pernia's car. He was trying to brake and avoid any mess. Then Cardoso saw the chance, but braked so long. It's incredible. There it is. Cardoso. Gianfratti said, okay, let's go, Cardoso. Let's let him go alone out of the track. Yes, it's a puncture for Thiago Pernia. He will try to make it into the pits, but he has the whole lap ahead. Big trouble for Thiago Pernia, the driver born in United States. Cardoso also had some trouble, but Cardoso now has the chance of going for the win. Leonel Pernia is up into third. Gianfratti wants to be the first TCR Trophy driver to win a race in TCR South America. Something that will be an amazing, amazing feat. But of course, Pedro Cardoso won't let him escape so comfortably with this. There is Cardoso and Gianfratti braking once again, side by side, battling for the lead. Gianfratti resists against Cardoso. Cardoso still giving everything. Leonel Pernia are waiting for something to happen between these two to see if he can jump into the lead. Juan Angel Rosso up into fourth, Piquet Jr. in fifth, and Gian Antonio in sixth place. This is the Gianfratti braking in the inside and going into the outside to defend from Cardoso. Slight contacts might be worth a look from the stewards. And now Cardoso is in the lead. Cardoso is leading the race. He's overtaking Gianfratti, but Gianfratti sees the chance. He has to think in TCR Trophy crown, but of course, there must be a big temptation of winning his first race in the overall in TCR South America, as he had to let Cardoso in. I think Gianfratti is trying to play it smartly. It's exactly the same for his chances of title in TCR Brasil, in TCR Trophy, sorry. If he finishes in second, in first, or in eighth, as long as he's ahead of Chiriano. Also, Mariani and Cotter in second in TCR Trophy is playing in favor of Enzo Gianfratti, who needs as many cars as possible between him and Chiriano in the TCR Trophy classification. Leonel Pernia also starting to look decidedly at the second position right now, held by Enzo Gianfratti, as Pedro Cardoso will open another lap. There is Adrian Chiriano and Mariano Nkotter. Oh, Nkotter was long, and Bruno Massa wants also to jump into the TCR Trophy podium. Yet Nkotter lost 2 places in a single turn. Unlucky for the 18-year-old from Brazil, 19-year-old, as here is the battle between Rosso and Nelson Piquet Jr. once again. Rosso against Piquet. So slight mirror rubbing between these two cars. Cardoso leading from Gianfratti. Piquet Jr. wants to attack once again Juan Angel Rosso for 4th place. We have 10 cars riding now, running. Piquet Jr. is there attacking Rosso as they head into the SC, and now taking this left-hand turn named Pinheirino. Now this is Pico de Pato. This turn, the duckbill, as we would translate it into English. Gianfratti taking Mergulio turn, which is the last one of the track. The rest is pure acceleration. This is our race leader, Pedro Cardoso, who will start the second last lap of the race. There is Pedro Cardoso. He doesn't have any time to lift up and reduce a lap. We got 5 seconds yet to 0 in the countdown, so this is the second last lap of the race. No, Adrian Chiriano in second place is a crucial move for him in TCR Trophy. Oh, Bruno Massa is off. He had the chance of taking a podium in TCR Trophy in his debut, and we'll see if this doesn't mean another safety car, which will be the third one. This is... oh no, this is contact between him And Marianne Kotter, yeah, the steering is broken. And Bruno Massa had nothing left to do. Unfortunate for the Brazilian driver. Half Brazilian, half Canadian. Last 2 laps. We have no safety car inside yet. Cardoso taking his second last run at the Pico de Pato turn. The race has eased off a little bit now, with Gianfratti in second, Pernia in third, Rosso and Piquet Jr. fourth and fifth respectively. You can see Pedro Cardoso has been struggling with his body work throughout all the race. Enzo Gianfratti in second, still a great result. He had the race lead for a few seconds. It was really tempting, but he said, and he knew actually, he had to protect it. So it's a clean way for Pedro Cardoso in the last lap of the race. And this is the last lap for Pedro Cardoso, the already former champion of TCR South America, as he lifted the crown in 2024. But has already handed it in to Leonel Pernia. It's the last lap of the race. Enzo Gianfratti will take a podium, which is a fantastic result for him. An excellent campaign for Gianfratti. He's about to take his second podium. His second overall podium. He did so in Cuiabá in the last events. Cardoso heading into Pico de Pato once again. It's now into Pinheirinho. Pico de Pato is the next turn. Gianfratti comfortably in second. Leonel Pernia in third. Juan Angel Rosso will be in fourth. Doesn't seem to be any battle going on now on track after a frantic race. This is Junzao, the downhill, where Giancarlo Fisichella overtook Kimi Räikkönen to take the victory in that controversial 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix in Formula 1. And now Cardoso has taken the last turn and will head into the main straights after a really full of events race. Is now falling in favor of Pedro Cardoso, who is running into the checker flag, waving his car. Pedro Cardoso, ladies and gentlemen, wins race number 1 of TCR South America in Interlagos. Great second place for Enzo Gianfratti. Third for the new champion, Leonel Pernia, as Piquet beats Rosso to the line. For fourth, Gian Antonio is in sixth, Rafael Reyes in seventh, and Adrian Chiriano still leading the TCR trophy. Nelson Piquet Jr. has finally taken the TCR Brasil. Here is Nelson Piquet Jr. Here is our race winner, Pedro Cardoso. Pedro Cardoso picking up some rubber. This is Nelson Piquet Jr. and we have him also here is Pedro Cardoso, the race winner. Felipe Magov congratulating Nelson Piquet Jr., also Federico Punteri. Series press officer Santiago Di Pardo taking him to the podium. Somebody who does a really big work also, race after race, in a great TCR South America media crew. Well, here,
Nelsinho Piquet conquistando título inédito da TCR Brasil, Banco BRB. Nelsinho, as palavras do campeão, né?
O campeonato tá aí, a corrida não foi como a gente esperava, muita gente correndo para tudo ou nada, né? Uns não disputando o campeonato, querendo sua vitória, eu tendo que administrar tudo isso, todo mundo andando com muita... limite 12, então fui sobrevivendo ali, tive uma largada ruim, ainda acho que eu não consegui transitar do Stock Car para o TCR direito. Mas uma temporada boa, fui aprendendo a cada corrida, fui melhorando, entendendo um pouco mais do carro, então agradecer a todo mundo aí da Honda, Sebastião Martino, todos os nossos patrocinadores aí pelo ano. E, enfim, se Deus quiser, ano que vem a gente vai disputar não só a brasileira, mas também a sul-americana. Obrigado a todos.
Tá certo. O que significa esse título para você? Afinal de contas, é o seu ano de estreia.
Vencer o campeonato, a gente às vezes tem pilotos bons que correm a vida inteira, décadas aí, e não conseguem conquistar o campeonato por falta de encaixar as coisas, então sempre a gente leva um campeonato é muito importante. É um ano inteiro de muito trabalho, de muita dedicação, de muito investimento de todo mundo, então realmente poder levar isso para casa é muito bom.
Parabéns, muito obrigada. Vamos falar com ele agora, Pedro Cardoso, que passando o título aí para Nelsinho e para Pernia, e terminando o ano lá em cima, né, com uma vitória pela TCR Brasil e a TCR South America.
Só tirando a dúvida, o Nelsinho foi campeão agora? Bom, então primeiramente parabéns para ele, parabéns para o Pernia também, por adversários duríssimos durante o ano, mas enfim, é merecido o título deles. E o nosso trabalho também tem que ser reconhecido. É um carro mais antigo, um carro que ano passado a gente conseguiu ser campeão, mas esse ano foi um pouco mais difícil, mas de qualquer forma a gente ganhou corrida, a gente disputou vitórias, a gente brigou pelo campeonato até o final e estou muito feliz de poder terminar o ano assim, dando essa vitória para minha equipe, para minha família, para minha namorada, para todo mundo que torce por mim.
E Interlagos, né?
Interlagos é a minha primeira vitória, agora que eu lembrei, então...
First win here in Interlagos.
Muito obrigada, e agora a gente fala com o vencedor pela categoria Trophy, Enzo Gianfratti.
Enzo Gianfratti won the TCR Trophy.
Parabéns, como é que é vencer no Brasil, Interlagos?
Muito feliz, vencer na minha casa é sempre muito gostoso, a família inteira assistindo, muito feliz com essa
I have my family here with me, I'm very happy and motivated.
E campeão da TCR Brasil na Copa Trophy, então só alegria hoje.
Parabéns, e agora nós vamos para a cerimônia do pódio.
Really happy. Now we're heading to the podium.
Obrigado, valeu, bora!
Here's the final results. Cardoso, Gianfratti, and Pernia. On the podium, Piquet Jr., Rosso, Gianantuoni, Reis, Ciriano, Nienkotter, and Bruno Massa down 3 laps. 9 cars finished the race. Here is the recognition for our champion, Nelson Piquet Jr., stepping into the first podium spots after clinching the TCR Brasil title. Receives the trophy from Federico Punteri, series presidents. Great season for Nelson Piquet Jr. in TCR, both South America and Brazil. Connecting 3 wins in a row in Velocitan, 2 in Cuiabá. It's over for Leonardo Reis and Rafael Reis. Pedro Cardoso was much farther. Here is the whole team. Nelson Piquet Jr. celebrating the TCR Brasil title. They had the t-shirts ready already. We'll head into the podium as well for TCR South America with some action bits from our TCR Brazil champion, Nelson Piquet Jr.
Vencedor da TCR Social-Media, Pedro Cardoso do Brasil. Convidamos João Eduardo, gerente BRB.
Here are Pedro Cardoso, Enzo Gianfrati, and Leonel Pernilla on the podium. Here's the trophy for Leonel Pernilla. Now for Enzo Gianfrati, who was close to take the win. First, the leading team from PMO Racing, Damian Fineschi, receives the trophy, one of the engineers. And the winning driver, Pedro Cardoso.
Aí estão, levantaram os troféus para... Levantem os troféus para a foto do pódio, por favor. Todos para a foto do pódio. Concentrem-se no lugar mais alto do pódio. As fotos de Interlagos, todos no lugar mais alto do pódio. E agora pode.
Here's our picture for the TCR South American podium. This is our race winner. This is Pedro Cardoso. Great driving from Cardoso today, surviving many collisions. His third win in the season. He won in Termas de Rio Hondo, the last stop in Argentina, and the second one in Brazil in Velocita. This is Gianfrati showing up. This is TCR Brasil. This is the podium for TCR Brasil with Cardoso, Gianfrati, and the new champion Nelson Piquet Jr.
Segundo colocado também do Brasil,
Enzo Gianfrati receives his trophy also.
E o melhor equipe é
PMO Racing, winning the trophy for the winning team. Also Pedro Cardoso. Cardoso, Gianfrati, and Piquet, our podium for TCR Brasil. There it is, the final picture for the TCR Brasil podium. Cardoso took the win. Nelson Piquet Jr. took the title. This is the Trophy Cup champion, Enzo Gianfrati. We'll have now the crowning of the TCR Trophy champion. Here it is. Our TCR Brasil Trophy champion. Here is Enzo Gianfrati, our TCR Trophy Brazil champion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been all for today. We'll have tomorrow race number 2, the final wrap up of the season. Thank you very much for being with us. See you tomorrow.